Say to yourself, damn, what is going on here?
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
It's actually to drive revenue so we can give the players extra income opportunities. I had to actually educate the players. They're like, good, 75 million divided by 144, pay us.
Many are wondering how the WNBA will continue to be successful in 2025 given the decline in attendance and TV ratings. Keeping Caitlin Clark on the court appears to be the only viable answer.
Because at the end of the day, with her WNBA rookie season complete, that's it. Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA.
This is why talks behind closed doors are increasingly centered on positioning the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark to win the 2025 finals. The WNBA stands to gain the most from this and is strategically positioning itself. Even though it may not seem likely at first, the numbers will soon show that it is. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver stated on Tuesday that the media deals were not yet finalized, despite the fact that the NBA negotiated the WNBA's media deal in addition to its own extensive media rights packed with Disney, NBC, and Amazon, each of which will have its own WNBA package ages.
To build, you have to scale, and ultimately expansion had always been on my list. But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports owner.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
When Caitlin Clark joined the WNBA, she did more than just create headlines. She fundamentally changed the dynamics of the league.
Clark trying to get around Mabry. Clark to the rim, reverses it home through the contact.
Struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said.
But I am upset about. It's like, hey man, your meal ticket is under constant attack. There's been dirty plays all season.
Renowned for having an extraordinary shooting range, fearless demeanor, and veteran-like self-assurance. With her revolutionary star power, Caitlin Clark attracted thousands of new WNBA fans.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history? There it is!
She immediately became a well-known star thanks to her amazing long-range three-point shooting and superb playmaking abilities.
Nice. Boy, Enrique gave it to Cowan, who couldn't finish. Behind the back again for Clark. Give her another assist and a chance for a three-point play for Smith.
Fans who had never watched a WNBA game were enthralled, and devoted followers couldn't stop talking about her incredible performances.
Tremendous move, but we are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest lead.
Although it included elite players, the WNBA had battled for years to garner the same level of public attention as men's sports, and while the league was expanding, its progress was sluggish. Caitlin Clark's entry in the league couldn't have come at a more crucial time. However, Clark rose to fame and drew in both devoted followers and casual sports watchers. Now, the question is if the league will do anything to support her, possibly even paving the road for her to reach the finals. The Indiana Fever had one of the lowest attendance averages in 2023, drawing only 4,200 fans per game. However, when Clark took the court in 2024, attendance fourfold increased, with an average of 177,000 fans per game for high-profile matchups, especially against stars like Breanna Stewart or A.A. Wilson. Tickets sold out almost immediately, demonstrating her enormous popularity. Caitlin Clark's impact on the team and the WNBA was revolutionary from the moment she was drafted by the team.
Asia Wilson keeps the possession alive for Vegas. Wilson gets denied by Stewart.
Shot here in these finals. What about this one? Just a beautiful contest, all ball from the 7-1 wingspan.
In 2024, WNBA ticket sales increased by 93% overall, in addition to the Indiana Fever's low attendance, pushing teams to move games against the Fever to bigger stadiums. Caitlin Clark's appearance sparked this unusual surge in interest, But the true game changer was the sharp rise in TV ratings that demonstrated her profound influence on the league.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
The WNBA saw a sharp increase in national interest following Caitlin Clark's debut season, greatly increasing the league's prominence.
2 national championships, 4 Big Ten championships. Yeah, there's my teammates. They're pretty awesome. And I think just a belief in myself, and my parents always instilled confidence in me from a young age when I was a young girl. And I think that's something a lot of young girls can learn to have. And I think people supporting them certainly helps. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing is the confidence. But I told my mom before this is like, you know, I earned it, and that's why I'm so proud of it.
According to Neen, Caitlin Clark's first WNBA game drew over 2.2 million viewers, making it the most watched in 23 years. WNBA games on ESPN saw a 170% increase in viewership over the previous season, while other networks saw a 133% increase in 2024. These remarkable figures helped the WNBA land a big TV deal, bringing in an additional $2.2 billion in media revenue. This enormous expansion was brought about by Clark's entry into the league, but it was just the beginning of her revolutionary influence on the future of sports.
One thing that she said that really stuck out to me was about Christy Size actually having major control over this Fever locker room.
Caitlin Clark for the 2 games that she was in the postseason. Outkick has the story available right now. You can go to Outkick.com. Caitlin Clark's final WNBA playoff game. 2.5 million viewers.
Appreciate you. They're ready to rock. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. And I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops.
The Caitlin Clark effect just made the Fever worse as it entered the playoffs. The average number of people watching a playoff game was 2.5 million, but then football changed.
And not tell people, hey, if you're just in this for Caitlin Clark, then get out. No, that is not the way you market your league.
So
it's not the way you grow.
The WNBA felt the immediate effects of Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever's early elimination from the playoffs, as attendance at games without her sharply decreased, demonstrating her enormous influence.
Not following after Caitlin Clark's been eliminated, and they're not into the league because they're conditioned by the league and the WNBA-PA to...
Games against elite teams that were supposed to be marquee matches instead took place in front of empty seats. TV ratings fell precipitously in tandem with the attendance downturn, falling more than 60% from 2.52 million viewers during Clark's playoff games to just 929,000 thereafter.
Was Caitlin Clark, it was massive numbers. When it wasn't, it was even less on average than the previous playoff series.
With every game that went by, Caitlin Clark's worth to the WNBA became more apparent, even though the league had a roster full of talented players like A.A. Wilson. This wasn't just a slight decline, it was a significant drop in engagement, raising serious questions about how the league could maintain its momentum without its biggest star. Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart, it was becoming more and more obvious that Clark had advanced in the game and attracted special attention.
Now, one thing we've seen, and Holly Rowe talked to the players about this, last year they shot a lot of 4-pointers as Sabrina knocks that one down for a 4.
Caitlin Clark was increasingly relied upon by the WNBA to keep fans interested by focusing promotions on her. While networks prioritized airing her games at prime time, her highlights took over social media.
I was once that little Iowa girl who was inspired to dream big, real big. And that dream was more than women's basketball. If I can sign with Gatorade, you can too.
Everything to be proud of. I'm super proud. There's so much more we need to do. We're Caitlin Clark. This is just the beginning.
Sports leagues frequently highlight their top stars, like the NBA did with LeBron James and Michael Jordan. However, The WNBA is currently faced with the question of what happens when a league becomes unduly reliant on one player despite having players like Wilson and Breanna Stewart. After Caitlin Clark's early playoff exit, the league found it difficult to keep up.
If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl,
league versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been
staying with the WNBA playoffs. Let's stay here. Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark.
As the WNBA battled with dwindling attendance and viewership following Clark's departure, a conspiracy notion soon surfaced. There are rumors that league officials, or even referees, may covertly sway results to give Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, or wherever she ends up, an easier route to the championship. Could the league, desperate to maintain the momentum and interest sparked by Caitlin Clark, create a scenario where she reaches the finals next season? One of the first people to voice worries about whether the WNBA could afford to lose Clark early again the next season was Stephen A. Smith. Skip This reiterated these fears, saying the league knows Clark is their golden ticket and that they might suffer greatly without her. Since other leagues have been accused of similar things, there are growing worries that the WNBA may rig results to maintain Caitlin Clark's prominence. The NFL has been accused of favoring marquee franchises to increase ratings, and the NBA has come under fire for giving preferential treatment to players like LeBron James or teams in bigger markets. The WNBA might be tempted to guarantee Clark's appearance in the finals due to financial difficulties and a desire for star power, but doing so would be dangerous because fans adore star players and respect fairness and integrity in sports. Any suggestion of manipulation could seriously harm the league's reputation. The WNBA has worked hard to build a loyal fan base, and tampering with game outcomes would betray the trust of those who have supported the league through its struggles for visibility, and respect the risk of undermining years of progress is simply too great. Once fans start to suspect that outcomes are being manipulated, it becomes very difficult to regain their trust. The WNBA's core fan base would likely feel alienated, and the league's reputation could take a significant hit. Furthermore, relying solely on Caitlin Clark to shape the league's future risks overshadowing other remarkable players like AIA, Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and many others who deserve recognition for their incredible talent. If the WNBA is seen as focusing only on Clark, it could create dissatisfaction among fans and players alike. While Clark is undeniably a transformative figure, it's crucial to remember that the WNBA is built on the collective brilliance of many stars. As Commissioner Engelbert noted, the league is bigger than any single player. Whether that remains true is yet to be seen.